everybody. Welcome to the show. My name's Rachel. I am your host today. I'm here with Ben. We actually are both on a cruise ship right now. Ben is an entertainer on board. He is a magician.
Yes.
And we will be learning all about what he does and what life is like living on the Brilliant Lady, which is the name of our cruise ship.
Yeah.
All right. So if you could just give us a quick intro and what kind of magic you do on board and what your shows are like, that would be really cool.
My name's Ben Price. I am a mentalist magician. I've been doing magic for about 13 years professionally and working on ships for about 4 of those.
All right. So jumping into a few questions here. So I was reading about your bio and it said you do kind of a mix of magic and mentalism.
Yeah.
Can you just give a brief description of what mentalism is for people who might not know?
Yeah. Mentalism is a different beast in terms of like under the magic umbrella. Whereas things like cut and restored rope and card tricks are considered standard classic pieces of magic, mentalism encompasses those things, but is framed to be, or framed to take place in your brain as the audience members or in your mind as the audience members. So it's things that maybe everyone can experience, but through a different viewpoint.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you give us an example of a trick that might be like that?
Like a mentalism trick?
Yeah.
A classic of mentalism is you think of like a person you know, and I can somehow divine the name of the person you're thinking of.
Okay, got
Yeah.
it. That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how do people react to that?
It's actually really mentalism is so strong right now. It's very popular. People like seeing a card trick, cool, but everyone saw the same thing. What you get when you do mentalism is a very visceral reaction for the person that is being or is engaging with you in the effect, because there really is no way a person who've just met you, should know the name of your childhood dog, right? So it's a very like strong reaction because it's sometimes quite emotional. Maybe, I mean, if it's a pet, chances are a childhood pet's not around anymore. So it's a fond memory for them. It's something that they feel like I've picked up on and have plucked out of their brain somehow. It's a really strong reaction. And that reaction permeates the rest of the audience because they can see within the volunteer how emotional or invested they are in that information.
Got it. I could see
Yeah.
that. I was reading your bio. It said that you became obsessed with magic at a young age.
Mm-hmm.
Do you happen to remember that moment or that time of your life when you became obsessed with magic?
Yeah, I was at, I'm Canadian. I don't know if they have this in the States. Do they have like the Legion?
Oh, I don't know.
It's
What
like
is
a
that?
U.S. It's like an army club. Like it's the Royal Canadian Legion, and it was like a veterans club. I get like a veteran association.
Okay,
I
got
guess.
it.
But I was at one of their Christmas shows, and there was a magician there, and I remember sitting on the very uncomfortable wooden floor in this hall, watching this guy. He was an old man in my brain, but thinking about it now, I feel like he was probably someone my age. But like doing linking rings and pulling silks out of his mouth and all this stuff. And I was so interested in it at that time. And I do recall that Christmas, I got a magic kit. And it really did. Yeah, seeing the show was really inspirational to me. I mean, not as like I'm going to be a magician, but I fell in love with magic then and got the props to be able to practice myself that holiday.
All right, very
Yeah.
cool. And then I saw your tagline was "Not your grandmother's magician."
Yeah.
Can you explain that a little bit? What does
Yeah.
that mean?
I don't want, like, people think of magicians get a bad rep, I will say. We're always kind of viewed as these really creepy kind of people in tails and a top hat who are touching people inappropriately and like asking for kisses on the cheeks and then moving to the mouth. Not all of us are gross like that. I don't want to be seen as someone who does a dove from the jacket and pulling rope out of my ear and all this stuff. So not your grandmother's magician is like, you're not going to see tricks that you saw when my grandma was watching magic tricks as a kid, if that makes sense.
Yes. No, that does
just
make
some way to
sense, yeah.
say a magician, but cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then how do you come up with new tricks?
This is a tough question because I have invented very few tricks myself. Almost 90% of magicians, probably more, 98% of magicians are cover artists in a sense, where someone much smarter than myself has invented this trick and I take it and write my own story to it and kind of frame it my own way. Like a cover band would take someone's song and do it in their style. That's kind of what 98% of magicians are doing. There's this joke in magic that there's really only 5 tricks. You can vanish something, make something appear, you can restore something, you can like 5 things like that. And we're just kind of regurgitating them over and over again. But I've invented one trick that I truly believe is mine. Other than that, I'm a cover artist.
So it's more like the performance aspect of it.
It's all about the performance, yeah. And if someone you could see the same trick back to back and go, those were 2 separate tricks, just because the method that I'm using for something is the trick itself, and someone else might use that same method, but it's completely different. So that's why I think a lot of magicians look so different. They're doing the same tricks, but just framed in such a different way.
So then my question would be, how are you coming up with your performance angle, and how are you scripting it? Are you incorporating comedy? Kind of how are you planning your shows?
I work in a way where I find the tricks that I like and stick them in like on a little sticky note and arrange them in a way that makes sense in my brain. And I try to have like a constant build from start to finish. So start small, let people warm up to you, and then slowly build to the end where you have this big finish, which I think is pretty standard. But I'm very improvisational with my audience. I want to involve them as much as I can. So I have very light scripting. I know kind of what the story is that I want to tell with a lot of the tricks, but I want to leave a lot of room for the people in the crowd who sometimes are a lot funnier than I am. So I want them to say things that I can then kind of play off of. So it's very improvisational. I have a framework that I work within as I'm scripting these things, but leave a lot of space for improv moments.
Yeah. Is that called crowd work? I know in comedy
it would be
like that.
Crowd. It would. It's the same thing as like a comic would call something called crowd work. It is with me, but it's a little more curated. Let's go with curated crowd work. Because I do choose people to help out in the show, or have very certain people that I bring up to help in the show. And I do survey the audience as they come in, so I can kind of get a sense of their energy, because if someone comes into the show and sits like this, I'm like, they're probably not the person I want to have up on stage. But if they come in and they're taking photos of the screens, or they look excited with whoever they're sitting with, they're probably a good person to choose. So I'll keep that in mind and let the show kind of be as organic as I can.
I love that.
Yeah.
How is it on the cruise ship? Like with cruise passengers specifically, what is kind of their vibe, and how is that maybe different than a land show?
Yeah, cruise passengers are a different beast altogether. It's strange because when I first started performing, I'd do a show, and I'd leave, and I'd never see those people again. Here, I did a show on the first night, and then I lived with these people for 7 days. So they feel, and not that I don't love talking to the people on the cruises, I do. I love talking to all the people, but some people can feel emboldened to approach you and give you just wild advice or comments about your show that you would just never hear otherwise. And I'm sure those comments when I was performing on land did happen. I just never heard them, so they were never kind of sitting in the back of my brain. But some people, like, your show just might not be for some people. And here, you're going to hear that, whereas on land, you're not going to hear that. So it is a weird thing to get used to, having to, like, block that information out, or like be like, you know what, it just wasn't for them. There was 250 other people in the audience that had a great time, and you just haven't talked to those people. But yeah, working on cruises was an adjustment.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Are people more in the audience itself, like in the show itself, are people more relaxed or more fun because they're on vacation or anything like that you've
Yes,
noticed? Yeah.
sometimes people can be a bit too relaxed. I've had people sleeping in the audience before. You also have this weird thing where you've paid to be on the cruise, but you haven't paid for the show specifically. So you have no personal investment in that show. So people come into the show and watch 5 minutes and then go, there's also dodgeball on at this time. Let's go do that now. And we'll get up and leave. And again, it was an adjustment to not take that personally. It's just there's so many things for them to do and see that they want to try a little bit of it all. So they saw some magic, now they're going to go and try something else. And
Okay.
yeah, it's a weird thing where you haven't paid. If you pay for the ticket, even if you didn't like it, you're probably going to stay and watch because you paid $25. Here, no payment for the show specifically, so they don't feel guilty about up and out,
I see.
which is weird. Yeah.
So yeah, you've gotten a tough or thick skin probably from all
You
this.
have to grow a thick skin. And I've also tried to build the show in such a way that like grabs their interest and makes them want to stay. And from when I first started, I feel like I've gotten better at retaining an audience. It's a different style of performance. Not that doing the, like, I wouldn't have to do these like methods on land because people are wanting to see the show. Like they specifically came to see the show. Here, they didn't come specifically to see a magic show, so you have to change things a little bit to make them want to see it.
Got it.
Yeah.
Kind of some more questions about the cruise ship lifestyle. So what does a typical working day look like on board?
I feel bad about this question because I am booked as what's called a guest entertainer. So I live life as a guest or a regular sailor until I have a show. So I don't have any other duties aside from performing my show 3 times a voyage. So today I have nothing to do specifically, but as like someone like Julian, I think you spoke to, he does roaming magic and he does his own show, and then he does like a trivia that's not anything to do with magic, even though he is hired specifically to be a magician. I'm very lucky in that I don't have anything else to do but my own thing.
Right. So
Yeah.
Julian's a part of the Happening cast,
Yes.
hired by Virgin,
Yes.
and you're more on a contract.
I am a contractor specifically. I do not work for Virgin specifically, although over the last 3 years they've been very good to me and I've been exclusively booked on Virgin ships. So I feel really grateful for that because I love being here. I get treated
Yeah.
top notch when I'm here. So
Awesome.
it's great. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
know that you guys. So do you go to all the events that regular sailors go to?
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, I've been working with Virgin for 3.5 years, so I've seen all of the events, unless it's something brand new. Like this is my first time on Brilliant, so I've seen all the new shows they have on board here. But I don't go to Scarlet Night anymore. I stay in my room. I don't go, like I don't do bingos. I don't do all that sort of stuff. I just do my own thing. Yeah.
For sure. All right. So then you've performed all over the world. I saw in your bio. And then we kind of talked about cruise ship audiences being unique, but I guess how does it differ, this type of audience on the cruise ship, from just other places in the world? And what are some of the favorite countries or other places that you've performed in?
I have one of my favorite places to be, not necessarily perform in, is Turkey. I just love Turkey. I love being there. The food's delicious. The people are nice. It's so clean. Everyone's so friendly. Probably one of my top destinations. One of my favorite shows or places that I've ever done a show was New York.
Okay.
Just because there's like this prestige around performing in a theater in New York. It was an off Broadway thing, and it was arranged by a friend of mine for my 30th birthday, which was kind of special. I was turning 30. I got to perform in New York and do this whole thing. So that's probably my top performance country.
Okay.
Yeah,
No, I can see New
city
York.
Yeah. It's like, it's Broadway. It's like, it's kind of thought of as like the mecca for performance. So it was cool to have a show there.
Yeah, I could see that being a good accomplishment and a good feeling.
Yeah, like it's just
so.
to tick off the bucket
Yeah.
list for sure.
Yeah, I bet you got some cool photos from there.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Good moment. All right. And then do you get to explore the ports when we stop?
Yeah. because I live as a sailor and I don't have any other duties to accomplish during the day, I do, like, my time is my own. So I do explore the ports quite often. Like, this itinerary is great for me. I do a lot of Caribbean, and once you've seen one beach, you've seen them all. So I tend not to get off so much in the Caribbean ports, but Alaska's been amazing. I did it last year as well with another company, so I know some of these ports, which is nice too. But European, like, itineraries, I love those. Greece, Turkey, Spain, like, amazing places to be and explore. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Any cool stories from any of those places, or did you meet up with anyone when you traveled there or anything like
When
that?
I was in Barcelona, the very first time I traveled to Barcelona, I was really excited because the oldest magic shop in the world is in Barcelona. And it's really easy to get to from the port area. Like, it's really close to the touristy area. And I walked over and it was closed. So I was kind of disappointed. And then every time I was on this itinerary for a month, so every time we were back in Barcelona, it was on the same day and they were always closed that day. Last year, I had an itinerary that started in Barcelona, but I was joining a ship kind of halfway through its route. And I flew in on a Tuesday. I was like, nice, because the shop will be open. So I finally got to go and experience the oldest magic shop in the world, it was 1888 or something like that. It opened. Wow. It's wild. It's crazily old, really cool stuff inside. It was another, like, tick off a bucket list, seeing like this place that I've seen pictures of and heard of, but yeah.
Okay, what was it called and what did you get there?
I honestly couldn't tell you what it's called. Oh. It was all in Spanish, which I don't speak, but something magic, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All I was able to buy because of the weight issue that I have traveling home was a deck of cards.
Okay.
So I bought a deck of cards, and that's like my souvenir from there. But I have been back since that first time. Like, we were back in Barcelona another time, and I went again. And even meeting the person that owns it, because he lives upstairs. So we talked a little bit, which was kind of cool too.
Yeah.
But the cool thing there is seeing all the pictures of these Spanish magicians that I've idolized for so long. Spanish magicians are amazing card magicians. I'm pretty rubbish with a deck of cards, but seeing all these pictures of people who I know have been there and performed there, and it was really cool feeling.
Yeah, I could see it being the experience of the store rather than like, okay, what all things did you buy, especially when we're so limited when traveling and all that.
Yeah, it wasn't about going and buying a bunch of the stuff they had for sale. It was just kind of being in that space and thinking about other people who have stopped there.
Yeah. And then just kind of jumping back to your contract, what keeps you coming back to cruise ships instead of just performing on land?
It's so much easier. Performing on land is so much more work. I have to poster for the show. I need to organize the venue. I need to organize the technicians. I need to organize all sorts of things that you just don't have to think about on board. Here, my agent will get the booking. They will organize all the flights, all the hotels. I just have to show up, tech the show with the amazing staff that's in the theater, and then perform. So it's so much of a lighter load for me as a performer. It is a little limiting in that, I don't have a name on land anymore, so that's one of the downfalls. But the thing that keeps me coming back, or things I should say, is one, the travel. I get to go to amazing places around the world for free. And two, I get to perform regularly and not have to four-wall the show myself. Yeah.
I was thinking too, maybe less admin work can allow you to be more creative.
100%. I spend a lot more time, unfortunately, on social media. It's a necessary evil. So I'm able to, build these videos and do tricks for Instagram or whatever it is I would like to do, learn new tricks, all this sort of stuff that I have a lot of free time to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then what would you say the best part of the cruise ship life is for you?
The people, the passengers, sure, but having worked with Virgin for 4 years now, I know a lot of the people that are on board. So I get to meet a lot of really interesting people who have now become very close friends of mine, especially like the magicians. Meeting the charmers is really cool, and being able to spend a good month with them. exchanging stories and tricks and methods and different bits of knowledge that they have that I don't, that I might have that they don't, is really cool.
Got it.
Yeah.
And then what would you say the hardest part is of living on the cruise ship?
Being away from family and friends. Yeah, I'm lucky again that I'm only here for a month at a time, whereas other people are on the ship for 4 to 6 months. But being away is one of the hardest things because you miss a lot of things like birthdays, anniversaries, special occasions, holidays. And then, it's just, it's hard to maintain relationships. I'm lucky in that I don't have that issue. I'm getting married in September.
Oh, congrats.
Thanks. But it's hard to be away from her all the
yeah.
time. She is able to come every once in a while, but it's not as often as we'd like.
Yeah. So how many months a year are you on the ship? Are you mostly on it the most part of it?
A good portion of the year, it's like an average of probably 8 total months, not 8 months straight, but 8 months out of the year I'm probably spending on ships. Yeah.
And then where do you live when you're not on the ship?
I'm Canadian, so I am from Calgary, Alberta, which is western, but not. People think of Vancouver or Toronto.
Yeah.
I'm one of the next provinces over from BC.
So you live in Calgary when you're not on the boat.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I thought it would be fun to do a little demo if you
I want
are
to
able
see
to.
some.
Yeah.
After I said I was rubbish with cards, we'll do a card trick. So this is an interesting trick because what we'll do. Oh, right. Did I see one that's flipped over? No. I'll do a trick for you, simple trick, and then if you follow the steps, you will be able to do the same trick for me.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's going to be really easy. And I feel like I did see one flipped over, but I'm just seeing things. Either way, so pay attention closely because you will have to follow the steps. The first step is to let them choose a card. So you can take whatever card you like.
Do I look at it?
You will need to look at it.
Okay.
Well, you got it memorized.
I do.
And then you'll ask them to put it back down. Just like so, and then you're going to lose it inside the deck, right? And then you can even offer them the chance to shuffle. So you'll do this for me. I'll look away. You can give it a little shuffle.
Okay.
Good. That sounded like a very professional shuffle. I like it. Now here's the hard part. You've connected with the card. You looked at the card, and this is the mentalism part. Because I'm going to try to get inside your head, and I feel like that's right away. Yeah, I'm going to go with this. So put your hand out flat.
I wish I showed the camera what card I picked
what
originally.
card it was. Well, I'll have you say it before we show. Because this is part of the steps. And again, you'll have to do this for me. So what was the card you selected?
4 of diamonds.
The 4 of diamonds.
Whoa,
there it is.
guys.
But
what?
again, your audience is probably like, yeah, that's going to work for him because he's a magician. But if you could do it, that would be impressive, would it not? Okay,
yeah,
so
sure.
Put her back in. Follow the steps exactly, and we'll be. I'm positive it will work out. I'm going to take this one. Okay.
Then you shuffle it.
Yeah, perfect.
And I look away.
I hope my shuffle is as good as yours was. Okay.
All right. And then I flip them over.
Yeah, you want to look at one. Don't show me what it is, obviously, but then once you've got one that you think is the one I connected with, just put it face down in my hand there.
I have no idea.
See, and at this point, a lot of people are like, well, there's probably something written on one of the cards. There really isn't, is there? You're just looking at a normal kind of deck of cards, but just whatever one calls out to you.
Oh, man. Okay.
Going back through. Second time's a charm.
All right, we'll see.
We're going to go with that one?
Yeah.
Nice. And then you just have to ask me.
Yeah, which one was it?
I chose the Ace of Diamonds.
What?
It's the steps.
I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah,
I'm not magic. I'm really not. And I was looking through them and I kind of went back and forth between a few.
Yeah, you have to decide.
So I don't know
but
how I did
this one called
that.
out to you.
Yeah, That's pretty wild.
There
Magic.
You go. Yeah, magic. Yeah.
Hey, you're not too bad with cards.
Yeah.
Okay. Just a few more things. So,
Yeah.
fun stories. What's something crazy that's happened to you during a show before on a cruise?
During a show?
During, or
Yeah,
after, before,
okay.
whatever, but yeah.
So I used to do this, because after this event, I was like, maybe not again. Or maybe I stopped making this joke. Either way, I used to do a trick where a volunteer would come up and they would have someone they haven't met on the other side. So kind of me, someone. They'd select a card. they'd put it back and then this person would try to find it. And I made the joke, if this person finds your card, I feel like we're connected enough, maybe we should kiss a little bit. And that would get a laugh, whatever. We go through the trick. Obviously, the point of the trick is they do somehow manage to find the card. And I go, wow, it's a mat. Like, they found your card. Like, this person attacked this other person and tongue out, literally making out on stage. And I was like, whoa. And I stepped in and literally put my hands in between them to like pull them apart. And she was like leapt up onto this other person. It was wild. Eventually got them apart and sent them away. And I was sweating buckets the whole time. I was like, she has just assaulted this person. Like, she seemed into it, but it's still a weird thing to have happen. I did find out afterwards they had met prior to this. They knew each other, just not well. And she was like totally into the kissing. I was like, great. You could have let me know that. But yeah, people making out on stage after a card trick went right.
All right. Do you still use that joke then?
I still make it, but I'm a little more like in between them so they can't get to people. I feel like I use it sparingly because I'm like, maybe these two seem like the type that would do it. Maybe I won't make that joke.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you had a volunteer completely derail a trick before?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, probably regularly or occasionally?
I wouldn't say regularly, and I never feel like it's on purpose. I feel like it's just something... For example, with like card tricks, not as many people as you would think are familiar with cards and what the suits mean. So when you have someone select a card and look at it, if it's a club, let's say, the one that looks like cauliflower, they might confuse that with a spade because they just don't know. So like you have them choose a card, find a card, and say your card was the 7 of spades. They go, no, it's 7 of clubs.
Right.
And you're like, did it look like this? And they'll go, oh yeah, that's the spade. It just, little mistakes like that happen all the time. Nothing has ever happened to me that's been catastrophic.
Yeah.
But little things like that happen every once in a while.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
What is the weirdest thing a guest has ever asked you or told you? What comes to mind for that?
Asked me or told me?
Maybe some feedback, or you said people kind of give random...
People give feedback. The weirdest bit of feedback I've ever had, and I was like, I don't know if I should take offense to this or not. I go through the show, and every magic show I've ever been to or you've probably ever seen has had like a big finale. That's kind of standard. Even in like a musical, they have like the big finale musical number. Go through the show, do the tricks. This guy came up to me it was on a cruise. I was at breakfast eating a waffle. This guy came over and was like, love the show, man. Like, great stuff. Love the magic. Just one quick thing, if you don't mind. And I was like, yeah, no, please share with me. Because I was relatively new to cruises at the time. He was like, that bit at the end, you got to get to it sooner. And I was like, okay, thanks for the advice. I'm like, that's the finale of the show. Either you're saying the middle sucked and you don't want to see it anymore, or you just don't understand how to structure a show. Because if I did the finale sooner, show's over in 10 minutes. It's the weirdest thing anyone's ever said. I also get a lot of people that ask me, like, when did you realize you had the gift? And feel like I have some sort of actual magic powers, which I don't. I have no psychic ability. I honestly don't believe anyone has any real psychic ability, but people often ask, like, how did you learn that you had this special gift? And no matter what I say to them, they're not convinced. They're like, you have to say that, don't you? Like, you have to tell me you don't have the gift. But yeah, that happens a lot. Do the finale sooner is the strangest thing that's ever happened one time, but I get you're psychic, aren't you, all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
What part of being a magician would surprise people?
It's not as cool as it looks. I feel like a lot of people start doing magic because they feel like they're going to be able to make friends, doing tricks at the bar or like pick someone up at the bar. It's very nerdy. It's a lot of time spent alone, like doing one. It's so meticulous. It takes so much time to get to a point where you're able to fool someone's eye and brain while talking and presenting something that's compelling to watch. So it's a lot of hours of isolation doing the same thing over and over and over again to get it to a point where you can basically do it blindfolded and not have to think about it.
Yeah, I guess for us, we just see it looking easy and
Yeah.
natural, but you've actually put in tedious hours.
Hundreds of
perfecting
hours.
it,
Yeah, people think of, like, if you learn an instrument, people go, you spent hours practicing and learning that. And magic's not really seen like that, but it is 100% a thing that you need to work at and practice and perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what excites you about walking on stage?
The fact that you're never really sure what's going to happen once you're out there. Like, you have, obviously, I said at the beginning, I have this framework of things that I know I'm going to do. Like, I know when I walk out there, I'm going to start with a card trick. But you never know who you're going to speak to and what they might say into a microphone. The last show I did here, the guy, he kind of went off the rails, and I didn't know how to respond to him because he said something wild, which I won't repeat on camera. But yeah, you just never know what you're going to encounter, and that kind of that gets me excited and kind of tingly because you're never sure. I might go the opposite way. You might just have the most boring audience in the world, and you do your show, and that's that. But for the most part, that's not the case.
Yeah.
You're always going to encounter some kook.
Yeah, and very different each time. It's not the same
So
thing
different
regurgitated.
each time. Yeah. Like the tricks and everything in the show is always the same, but the people are always different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, then we'll wrap up with some fast fun questions. So
Okay.
these are just some
Lock
quick,
in.
lock in. Favorite pre-show drink, music, or routine?
Okay, this is going to be super boring. Pre-show drink is sparkling water.
Okay.
I love sparkling water. And strangely enough, my pre-show routine, about 10 minutes before, I like to take a little nap. Yeah.
Where?
In a chair.
Oh, in a chair.
Yeah, I'll sit in the chairs that they have in the dressing room. Like, sometimes you have like these really nice, like, easy chairs or lazy boys or couches, but here they have really good chairs that you can kind of put your feet up on the desks and kind of lean back. It's
okay.
great for a nap.
Okay,
Yeah.
good to know.
Yeah.
Favorite post-show snack
Pizza.
or drink? Oh, pizza.
Yeah, I
Oh,
love pizza and a Heineken Zero.
Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite port you visited? I know that's probably hard to pick, but
Ooh, I'll stick with Istanbul. It's one of my
Okay.
favorite ports. Yeah.
Istanbul. And then we talked about the favorite venue you performed at in New York.
Yes.
Window or aisle seat on the plane?
Window.
Window. You like to look at everything?
I just don't want to be bothered by other people going to the bathroom.
I've had someone fall on me when I was sitting on an aisle seat before.
Like,
it was
fall into you
crazy.
sleeping, or
They were kind of unwell
Ooh.
and they passed out a
That's
little
worse.
bit.
Yeah.
I was okay. Everyone was okay, but someone next to me caught him, luckily. But yeah, that made me kind of hate aisle seats.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I'm like, I don't mind bothering you to go to the bathroom, but if I fall asleep, I don't want to have to get up for you.
Yeah, exactly. What is one item you always pack when traveling?
Oh, it changes, but it's the same item. Every time I leave for a contract, Tori and I take a little Polaroid photo, and I have this big book of collections of them, but I bring one with me every time.
Aw,
Yeah.
Is Tori your partner?
Tori's my partner.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice. Favorite city in Canada?
Yeah. Ooh, favorite city in
I guess
Canada?
for traveling. The question will be for traveling.
Yeah. Oh, this is tough. I have two that I'm thinking of. But
Okay. Well, which two? You can pick two.
I'm going to go with Halifax.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
great. It's a great city, delicious food.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good to know. Wait,
yeah.
what kind of food do they have there?
They have a lot of street food or seafood.
Oh,
yes,
I bet.
it's all the lobster is big on the East Coast. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then favorite city you visited in Alaska?
Ooh, okay, yeah, that's good too. Probably Ketchikan.
I did like Ketchikan.
Yeah,
that one was cool.
it's nice. It's easily walkable, and there's cool stuff going on. Yeah.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any sort of favorite magic movie, TV show, or YouTube, or anything like that?
Yeah, The Prestige
Okay.
is probably one of my favorite magic movies because it's pretty true, aside from like the fantastical bit with Tesla in it, which there's some like grounded truth in that, the myth they have going on there, that he actually made this like replicator thing. Not that I'm spoiling the movie for anybody, but it's like the closest true to magic kind of stuff. Prestige and The Illusionist are actually pretty good magic films.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then last question, what is your dream venue to perform at, if you have one? Let's manifest it.
Dream venue to perform at, the Magic Castle in Hollywood.
Okay, what is
Yeah.
that?
It's a pilgrimage. It's a private club for. They say it's a private club for magicians. No magician can afford the membership, so it's private club in LA where every night there's a rotating list of magicians from around the world, like top-notch magicians performing in like 7 or 8 different kind of magic venues. It's amazing. Yeah, it's a really cool place to be. If you haven't heard of it, look it up. You can get in, but you need to know a magician.
Okay, got it. So invite only.
It is invite only, yeah.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
All right, so can you share your socials so people can keep up with you if they want?
Yeah, this is super easy because on every platform is at Ben Price Magic.
It's like Instagram, YouTube,
Facebook, TikTok, all the main ones is at Ben Price Magic.
All right, well, thank you, Ben, for joining us today.
Appreciate
and everyone, keep up with us in the next episode, and we'll see you soon.